Unlike general intended outcomes, specific course learning objectives need to identify specific areas of knowledge or skills that students need to master after they complete a learning activity. As a result, you may want to consider how you move from outcomes to objectives. Learning objectives are always action-oriented and measurable. Usually, we know when a objective is measurable because it includes the important conditions under which a performance is to occur, uses an action verb to state whatever that performance expectation is, and also states the criterion of acceptable performance. So, as you craft your specific learning goals and objectives for your course, you might want to consider the criteria for creating a measurable learning objective. One way that you can ensure this criteria is to make sure you apply Bloom's taxonomy. So we're taking a sample outcome, which is found in many different courses. The outcome is students will be able to communicate an understanding of core terminology and concepts in literature. And we're going to take this outcome and move it through all the different Bloom's levels. So of course, students come in and we're looking for a knowledge level. And if we take that outcome, what we really want them to do is to identify basic terms and concepts found in our course. However, that's not enough. We really want them to comprehend it. So how can we confirm that understanding? Can they locate and recognize examples of key terms and concepts in our course? And finally, we want them to apply it. We want them to illustrate their knowledge of key terms by using them correctly in all our course assessments and assignments. So as we move to the higher levels of Bloom's, we want students to also do additional items with core terminology and concepts in our course. During analysis, we want to examine these terms and concepts, perhaps in a class discussion or how they appear in different types of learning materials. And then we want them to, of course, move to synthesis, where they enlarge their understanding, perhaps by completing peer responses that contrast views. And finally, we want to get them to the highest critical thinking levels possible, where they would evaluate the key impact of that term by using them correctly when they are discussing items in our course. So to restate, as we're moving from outcomes to objectives, we want our learning objectives to be measurable, and they should include the conditions under which performance is to occur, use an action verb to state our expectations of their performance, and also the criteria of acceptable performance. And a wonderful taxonomy to use to create those measurable learning objectives is Bloom's.